Yeah, Friday! You have reached episode 60 of the Ranting Weight Watcher. I am your host, Donato Russo. I hope you enjoy the show today. If this is your first time here and you enjoy the show, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If the podcast app you're listening on allows you to rate the show, please leave a 4-star or 5-star rating. Any rating is greatly appreciated. Man, oh man, do I have a packed show for you today. We got a lot of stuff to go over, and so here we go. Let's get into this. Journey updates. Okay, guys, I didn't have a great week this week, but you know what? This is a lot of the times why I try not to lose my head when I have a big loss. Because last week, to drop 7 pounds in a week when you make no changes, there's just something that doesn't make sense there. And most people would say, oh, Don, what the hell are you questioning that for? Because I question it because I eat consistently 7 days a week, same breakfast, 7 days a week, same lunch. Every Monday, the same dinner. Every Tuesday, the same dinner. I mean, that's how regimented I am. For me to have some huge loss like 7 pounds doesn't make sense to me. So in the same token, there's plenty of people out there that would say, oh, they did everything right, but they had a gain. Oh, the scale lies sometimes. No, it's not so much that. I mean, because if you're going to believe that, if you're going to believe the scale lies in the wrong direction and causes you to gain, you got to believe the scale lies and causes you to have a big loss. And that's kind of how I feel this week, right? I feel like last week's weigh-in of losing 7 pounds was an anomaly because everything went as planned in this week, and here I am with a 5.6 pound gain. So to me, seeing last week as a 1.4 pound loss is much more reasonable compared to weight, in the past. 1.4 pounds down in a week makes sense. So when I stepped on the scale last week and saw 7, I didn't trust it, to be honest with you. And I did it probably 2 or 3 times. It came up with the same number every time, so I just went with it. To see a 5.6 pound gain and would change nothing this week, what are you going to do? Either way, we still have goals to reach, so we get back to work. So for the month of October, we are now down 1.4 pounds total. Total lost since January 2019 is 140.6. 140.6 pounds down. The pounds remaining to get to my current milestone goals. I have 9.4 pounds remaining to get to the 150 pound milestone. I have 34.4 pounds remaining to get to the 175 pound milestone. And to get to my big milestone goal of 200, I have 59.4 pounds remaining. Because of last week's episode, I received a number, quite a bit of emails, text messages asking which model Fitbit should I buy. I'm listening to the podcast. I'm interested in buying one. Which one should I buy? So I took it upon myself to grab a couple of models here in all different price ranges. So we're going to pick some on the low end, some in the mid-range, and then the top models. And we're going to compare, kind of like compare and contrast, see which one would work best for you. And we're going to go over all of those models right after break. So stay with me. Don't go anywhere.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening to the Ranting Weight Watcher. If you would like to connect on social media, we would love to connect with you. On Facebook and Instagram, search for @the Ranting Weight Watcher. On Twitter, search for @the Ranting WW. On the Weight Watchers Connect app, search for @Ranting Weight Watcher. You can also email the show, say hello, or share your story with us. Send your emails to therantingweightwatcher@gmail.com. You can also call the show and leave a voicemail message that could be played on the air. Just call 505-652-7268. Again, that's 505-652-7268. We look forward to hearing from you. If this is your first time here, and you enjoyed the show, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We are proud to announce that the Ranting Weight Watcher is now rated number 4 in Feedspot.com's top 10 Weight Watchers podcasts. Click the link in the show's description if you wish to see the full list. If the podcast app you are listening with allows you to rate the show, please leave a 4-star or 5-star rating, whatever is in your heart to leave. Any rating is greatly appreciated. And now, without further delay, here is the star of the show, Donato Russo.
Okay. So I took it upon myself this week to dedicate episode 60 to your choice of Fitbit. I have pre-selected 4 of the models. 2 of these models would be classified as trackers only, and the other 2 would be classified as trackers and smartwatches. We're going to go over all 4 of them. First of all, you know what? Let me tell you this. I have never seen anything like this. Fitbit is the most annoying website to try and compare their different models. And it's almost as if they've done this on purpose. There is any other website you go to, you want to compare different products, you just click this little box that says compare, and then you go to a screen where it lines all 3 of these things up, and you can see right away, this is the difference between A and B. You know what I mean? And they go as far as even to list the features in different orders so that you have to go looking for the different specs. All right. That's just me venting because this website aggravated me. And this is actually, to be honest with you, this is my second time recording this because I was so floored that I couldn't even get a sentence to you guys without sitting here with all kinds of silence problems and everything else. That's just my own headache. I'm sorry for venting. So here are the names of the 4 models we're comparing. The first and the cheapest of the 4 is called the Fitbit Luxe. That's Luxe. And the second is the Fitbit Charge 5. The third is the Fitbit Versa 3. And the fourth is the Fitbit Sense. Just to give you an idea, the Fitbit Sense is their top of the line model. It's got all the bells and whistles that you could possibly want out of something like this, but it's made out of very premium materials. I mean, it feels like a nice watch in reality. But the Luxe has a specific clientele that I don't know. I mean, you would never see me wearing a Luxe because it is very feminine looking. It is geared towards someone who doesn't like the way a fitness tracker looks on their wrist. They have all kinds of accessories to make the band look like a bracelet and all kinds of stuff. So it is like more of a fashion statement than it is anything else. It has the least amount of fitness features of all the watches. I mean, it has the most important ones. So I'll go over it. It has the oxygenation sensor. It has all-day activity tracking. It has 20 different exercise modes built into the watch. You can go swimming with it. It has active zone minutes. So if you want, when you go to work out, okay, that's what active zone minutes means. You set a high for your heart rate and you set a low. It'll keep track of when you are in this zone that you've set for yourself and how long you spend there. All 4 of the watches do everything I've said so far. They claim to have a 5-day battery life. It checks heart rate variability. You can read text messages on the screen, but you can't answer back From what I understand, I've never done it before, so I don't know. It does have breathing exercises. It does do sleep tracking, menstrual health tracking. It has the always on display. Always on display just means that the watch is always on, which definitely kills battery life. So you may not want to turn that feature on. This model is the cheapest at $149.99. This is the only model of the 4 that does not have GPS built in. So that's the big strike. If you ask me, that is the biggest strike. I don't care how nice you think it looks. That is the biggest strike, that this watch does not have GPS built in. Well done. Why do I want GPS built in to my fitness tracker? I will explain that in a minute as I get to the others, because the other 3 all have GPS built in, and really there's very little difference between the other 3. But the huge strike against the Lux is there's no GPS built in. So now when you exercise, it's taking into account heart rate only. That's the big strike. So now if I have GPS built in, the GPS can get pace. How fast am I moving based on the GPS locator? We're going to move on to the next model. The next model is the Charge 5. Now, the Charge 5 has everything the Lux has. The first difference in the health area is this can do echocardiogram testing. And now the rest of the watches from here on out, except for the Lux, can do echocardiogram. The rest of the watches can do, it's an EDA scanner. The rest of the watches can do stress management. The rest of the watches can do oxygenation, just like the Lux, heart rate variability, breathing rate, skin temperature tracking, sleep tracking, menstrual cycle tracking, health and wellness reminders. You got a smart track feature here that you don't have in the Lux. So the smart track feature is, if, let's say, you just left the house and just started running. You forgot to start the run from your watch. You forgot to do all that. You just left the house and started running. The smart track feature detects that you're running. And if, I guess, after a certain period of time, it would say, okay, we are now tracking exercise, because if you sustain the run for a certain period of time, it'll say, okay, they're definitely exercising. With the built-in GPS, you don't necessarily have to have your cell phone with you to get speed. You start your walk, you start your run from the watch, and you take off. It will get the speed, and at the same time, it will get the heart rate, because there's a heart rate sensor on it. So now when you're looking at your workout data, you will see that the heart rate is in there. How during your walk, during your run, your heart rate reached these peaks and these valleys. How high did it get? What was the lowest it was? And you'll have that with all the other all the 3 models, except for the Lux. You will not have that. You'll have the heart rate, but you won't have the speed on the Lux. I'm sorry. I messed that up. You can also see text messages just like the other one. You can see, actually, this one has 7-day battery life as opposed to the 5-day. Let me be honest with you. I have the Sense. The Sense has GPS built in. When you are using the GPS on a regular basis, you will drain battery quicker. When they say a 7-day battery life, this is only an estimation based on what you use the watch for. The more GPS time, the more times a day or whatever you use the GPS, you are going to have a shorter battery life. Let's say you don't go walking. Let's say you go to the gym. There's no GPS involved if you're getting on a treadmill. You just choose the treadmill exercise and you start it and you start going on your treadmill. And it will be, in that case, it will be heart rate only. So it'll give you a pretty good idea there. And the other things that this watch can do is what's called Fit Pay. So let's say you go and you take off from your house and you're riding around. I mean, you're walking around or running around, whatever it is, and you pass a convenience store and you're really thirsty. You don't have your wallet. You just left the house with the watch alone. You don't even have your cell phone, nothing. You can pay for the bottle of water with the watch if you set up Fitbit Pay. And that place you're going to has the type of credit card machine that you can tap your cell phone, or in this case, tap an Apple Watch or something like that. This watch can handle that. And all the other two models I will go over also have all of these features that I named here. All the other models, except for the Luxe, have this. So I told you the price of the Luxe, $149.99. The price of the Charge 5 is $179.99. I mean, we're talking about this little bit of money, a little bit of a difference, and you gain all of these extra features, especially, I mean, alone, the price difference for built-in GPS is worth the price. In my mind, you're wasting your money with the Luxe. But if you love the way it looks, I'm not going to tell you not to buy it. Hey, that's up to you. Just know what you're giving up here in regards to keeping actual track of your workout, which is what you want to do first and foremost out of all of this. So now I'm going to move on. All four of these models are swim proof. You can go swimming with them. And this was so important to me. When I bought the Fitbit Versa 2, it was so important to me because, moving to Florida, funny story. I moved to Florida and we got all the boxes in our townhouse. We just bought it. We, signed the papers. We started moving in, and now we finally got everything moved in. We got family over who helped us move the boxes and everything else. As soon as we get to a point where, okay, now everybody's starting to relax, we're going to order dinner in a little bit, I wanted to go to the pool so bad. I was like, I don't care when dinner is. Even if it's for 20 minutes, I'm going swimming. So I go out to the pool. I don't even think twice about it. I go straight into the water and I start swimming. About 10 minutes later, I feel this really hard lump in my pocket. And I realize my cell phone is still in my pocket and I'm swimming for 10 minutes. Oh man, everybody's like freaking out. Oh, how could you forget that you got your cell phone in your pocket? Oh well, whatever. What are you going to do? So then everybody's saying, okay, put it in white rice. That's supposed to fix it. So I left it in overnight in white rice. And then here comes the next morning. I turned it on and it actually worked. We were like, holy crap, the white rice worked. After that, it was about a week later, the next weekend. Again, I'm anxious to get to the pool. We get to the pool area again and I go swimming, and I'm swimming around for about 30, 40 minutes now at this point. And again, I feel the big thing in my pocket. And I said, oh God, don't tell me I did it again. Don't tell me I did this again. Oh man, I actually went swimming again, but this time 30, 40 minutes. And that was the end of that cell phone. The white rice did not work a second time. So I didn't want to have to think. I tell you all that to tell you this. I don't want to have to. I will never own a watch that I have to worry about water touching. I will never own a watch. I swear, I don't care how beautiful the watch is. If someone gives it to me, that's another story. If I'm going to go buy a watch and it's not at minimum water resistant to a certain level, I got no use for it. I really don't, because I don't want to have to worry about washing my hands in water hitting it. I don't want to have to worry about running into the pool and I'm losing my watch because I went to the pool. I mean, it's one thing to lose a cell phone, but even nowadays, the iPhone, you can put it at the bottom of a 4-foot pool for 30 minutes before it breaks. You're doing pretty good now with a cell phone hitting the water. But anyway, I was off topic. I apologize, but I just wanted to make you laugh a little bit. So now we're on to the Fitbit Versa 3. Now, the Fitbit Versa 3 has everything the Charge 5 has. Okay, everything we went over already, I'm going to try not to go over a second time, or a third time, I should say. On the fitness side, there's something about snore and noise detection with the Versa 3 that's not on the other two models. I don't know if you want to keep track of snoring. I'm not really sure that would be something I care to. It says find out if you're snoring or if there's some ambient noise in your bedroom, both of which can impact your sleep quality. So, you want your watch to tell you you're a snorer? Hey, I mean, couldn't it just easily be your spouse snoring and the watch detects it? I mean, come on. But I digress. Everything else is the same. It's the same. This one gives high and low. Okay, wait. Here's the difference. High and low heart rate notifications. Where the other two models, I'm going to just quickly go to my other screen. No, I don't see anything about that on the other two models. So this one will also notify you if there's something fishy about your heart rate on the high end or the low end. Now, this one has something called the music experience. And what that means is let's say you have a subscription to Pandora, or there's another one called Deezer. If you have subscriptions, you can download your playlists or whatever from your accounts to the watch. You can sync a Bluetooth pair of headphones to the watch, enabling you to listen to music while you're walking, running, working out without having your cell phone on hand. In addition to, everything else the other two watches do. This one it's claiming for a 6-day battery life. It has fast charging. And what the fast charging means, let's say you forgot to charge it and you're getting the red light or whatever that tells you, the battery's low, you're getting all kinds of warnings, but you don't have time to charge it fully. You have to go out to dinner, let's just say, okay? What the fast charging does is if you have 12 minutes, in 12 minutes of charging, you can get 24 hours of battery life. So if you have 12 minutes to spare, you can plug your watch in for 12 minutes, and then you can go out and know that for the evening or whatever it is, you have at least 1 day's worth of battery life. And then when you get home, you can plug it back in and go the rest of the way. And the same thing goes for the Fitbit Sense, which is the next model. So the Fitbit Sense also has that same fast charging technology, also has the FitPay, so you can pay for something at a store. It's also swim proof, also built-in GPS, also has the snoring function, the heart rate variability, the notifications that of high or low heart rate, the breathing rate, all of the same things all of the other ones have that we already went over. Now, just so you know, I don't believe it's happened yet. The echocardiogram scanner is not available to use in America yet. The FDA has not approved it. But as soon as it's approved, we're talking about a software update, and then it'll be available to you. Unless by the time you hear this thing, they approve it and it's already updated before you buy it. That's another story altogether. Everything else on this watch is the same as the Versa 3. Except one thing. You can answer the phone on this watch. Now, it's not like the Apple Watch where you can be basically anywhere in the country and answer your phone, and you don't have to have your phone with you. It is basically like a Bluetooth earpiece. However far you can be from your phone when you have the Bluetooth earpiece in your ear and you push the button on the earpiece to answer the call, it's the equivalent. You're just answering from the watch and you're talking into the watch, kind of like Knight Rider. If you're an 80s kid like me, you always wanted to be able to talk into your watch and talk to your car like Knight Rider. This also has the music experience. Fitbit Versa 3 and Fitbit Sense are basically the identical watch with the exception that you can answer calls from the watch. With that being said, the price difference between the Versa 3 and the Sense It's $229 right now for the Versa 3. I don't know if that's because they plan to get rid of the Versa 3, because there's so little difference between the two watches. I could see maybe this one is going to be the one that's discontinued, and that's why there's such a huge price difference. So you may be able to capitalize right now for $229 versus $329 on the cents. So if it was up to me, that's my final verdict. I'm either going to go Fitbit Charge 5 for $179.99, or if you like that smartwatch style, I would go Fitbit Versa 3 before they take it off the market and capitalize on that. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how these watches, I basically simulated a few walks this week to simulate what would it be like to have this model watch. What would it translate to data-wise, or on the other end, in the Weight Watchers app, how many fit points would you get for the same distance walk? We are going to compare the Lux to the other three that have GPS, and we're going to compare all four watches to manually tracking. How much do they translate to fit points, and how can we use those fit points to conquer the holiday season, which is coming up now? So stick with me. Don't go anywhere. Hello, I'm Donato Russo, and I am the Ranting Weight Watcher. I wrote an affirmation. It's called the Ranter's Creed. I dedicate that affirmation to all of you who are watching. Nothing can stand in your way because you are an unstoppable force. Your challenges crumble in your presence because you are so strong. Your insecurities no longer have power over your life because you are so confident. Your mistakes are your choices, and you are okay with this because you are so intelligent. The mirror and the scale no longer haunt you because you are so beautiful. You can face any circumstance with unwavering support because you are so loved. The demons of your past can no longer torment you because you love yourself. All things are possible as long as you believe, because God is on your side. You will achieve all of your goals, not if, but when, because you have no boundaries. You are the champion of your story because you do whatever it takes to win. No one can take what you've done away from you because you are the author and the hero of your story. Arise, champion. The victory is yours. Because you are enough. And we are back. Thanks for sticking with me. I didn't mention this before because I forgot in the previous segment, but out of the 4 models I've shown you today or talked about today, I noticed in Costco they have the Fitbit Luxe, if you really truly want to get that one, for $10 less than what they have it on Fitbit.com. And they also have the Fitbit Versa 3. So if you're interested in that one, it is $10 less in Costco than it is on the Fitbit.com website. So that's just if you were thinking about one of those 2 models, because when I went and bought the Sense, I went to Best Buy and they didn't have the Versa 3 there. They didn't have it. I mean, I looked, saw the Sense, and I bought it. Didn't even think twice about it because I needed it right then and there. There was no waiting for it to come in the mail or anything like that. And so just so you guys know, to save you some money, if you were thinking about one of those 2 models, that they are selling there for $10 less than they do on Fitbit.com right now. I think your money is best spent there if you like the smartwatch type watch. But if you like that tracker style, then I still think the Charge 5 is the better deal. I mean, really, it's only a few bucks more. And it's a much better deal. But anyway, for the final segment here, I wanted to give you an idea of how things work here with the different models. So I did some simulations. On Monday, I went for a walk. Now, if you buy the Fitbit Luxe, this is the situation you're in. Because the Fitbit Luxe has heart rate only, your choice, if you really want speed, you're going to have to start the walk from your app on your phone. And then you will lose heart rate because your phone is not attached to your heart rate. So if you start the walk, say, if you go to the Fitbit app on your phone and you go to exercise section and you say starting walk now, it'll catch the GPS signal and it'll start the walk. But there is no heart rate contributed. So if you're getting the Luxe, you're choosing this way to get speed, or you're choosing the walk from the watch to get heart rate. I did 3 walks this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all of them 84 minutes. The first one was me starting it from the Fitbit app on my phone. So I would have speed only as the signifier for the workout. So I walked for 84 minutes and I earned 30 Fit points for that walk. Now, keep in mind, I had to have the phone in my pocket. So if you're someone who exercises with pants that have no pockets, you can't really do this. That's out. The only other way with the Fitbit Luxe is to do it from the watch. Now, the watch gives you heart rate only, no speed, because there's no GPS built into that watch, okay? The idea now, what I did to simulate this is today, my walk, instead of choosing walk, I chose treadmill. Because the GPS doesn't turn on if you choose treadmill because you're not going anywhere. You're standing in place. So it's all about heart rate at that point. I did an 84-minute walk today. The Fit points earned for the 84-minute walk is 30 Fit points. So there was no difference between the walk, an 84-minute walk started from the cell phone, or an 84-minute walk started with the watch itself, based on my simulation. That's not holding the Luxe. Now, if you're holding the Luxe, maybe it's different. I don't know. This was the best way I knew how to simulate it for you, to give you the best possible education of what you're going to earn when it comes to your activity. Now, granted, these watches the Fitbit account has to be synced up with Weight Watchers so that all of that data can be pulled. The final simulation, which was yesterday's simulation, was a walk started from my watch with GPS enabled. All options are running at the same time. Heart rate, GPS. Yesterday, when I left for my walk, I did it with this in mind. I was starting with the GPS, and I went for 84 minutes again. So all 3 walks were the same, 84 minutes. And the total amount of Fit points earned is 34 points. So it's not much of a difference, but with heart rate and speed together on the watch, phone only, 30. Fitbit treadmill activity, which was heart rate only, 30. And GPS plus heart rate, 34. Now, there could have been some wavering. I don't know. I did my best to keep these simulations the same. I did everything I could possibly do. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to manually track now an 84-minute walk, and I'm choosing moderate. I'm not, because in reality, we're talking about a 21-minute mile here. This, to me, is not vigorous. And it's not a light walk, because I've done like a 27-minute mile before, okay? So I chose moderate, and I'm sure that moderate in some people's eyes might be different. I just thought it was better than a light walk. Maybe for someone else healthier than me, because I know people that walk like a 13-minute mile, so mine can't be a vigorous mile. So in the Weight Watchers app, I am manually tracking a walk with moderate effort. And I'm doing 84 minutes. If I hit track activity, I'm getting 11 points. 11 points. So even just putting the Fitbit app on your phone, making your phone the tracker, because you have that option now. You can say, use my phone as a tracker. If you just did that alone, you would be earning more Fit points so long as you had the phone in your pocket during your walk. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to go back and I'm going to choose light effort, and I'm going to do 84 minutes, and the light effort gets me less. It gets me 6 points. So I lose 5 points by choosing light effort. And you know what? What for the hell of it, we're going to choose vigorous effort, even though I know I didn't do a vigorous walk. And it takes a vigorous walk to get me the 27. Now, with Fitbit as the judge, I earned 30. To me, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Now, the one thing I can't simulate for you is what a Apple Watch would do, because I don't own an Apple Watch, unfortunately. Maybe one day I will, just to be able to continue this conversation. But it seems it's either that there's settings involved that the user doesn't know about, or the Apple app, whatever it is, Apple Health or whatever it is, that sends the information to Weight Watchers. It's just not sending the same amount of information that Fitbit sends. Because everyone I know that has an Apple Watch doesn't earn nearly this many points for their walks. Now, maybe they're not walking for 84 minutes. I get that. This is why I'm not counting it, because it would have to be me holding the watch in order to do a full-on simulation and really get you guys to understand what you can earn from an Apple Watch versus what you can earn from a Fitbit and manually tracking. Just like I said, the phone in your pocket with the Fitbit app and using the phone as a tracker, you'll do better on Fit points just that way than you will manually entering. So manually entering, in my mind, is you just knock it out. Forget the idea. Because whatever the Fitbit device is doing during your workout, it's sending much more information to Weight Watchers than you could possibly do with the app, with the manual tracking. It's Christmas is coming. Treat yourself. You've been good all year. Tell the world Santa got you the Fitbit, okay? This is the time of year to get it. Stuff goes on sale. That Fitbit Versa 3 is on sale for $100 cheaper than it would be. It's not much different than the Sense. Go and get it and have the full access to everything the Sense could do except answer a phone call. Now, keep in mind that Versa 3, I believe, is already a year-old model. Just keep that in mind when you're buying it. I want you to know everything you need to know before you make your purchase. Go in there educated, because any salesman can talk you into anything. I have nothing to earn from this. All I have to earn is your praise. Really, that's all there is to it. Your praise. And let me tell you this. This is how thorough I went with this test. I wanted to make sure it was so uniform that I chose one song. I put it on repeat, and I walked to the beat of that song all 84 minutes, all 3 days. That's over 4 hours this week listening to the same song over and over and over, just so that you can have a proper simulation to know what you're going to get with this purchase of a Fitbit. And that song, if you were interested, is called "Win in the End." If you want to go search it on YouTube, "Win in the End" by Mark Safan, Safan, Safan. Win in the End. To say the least, I am sick and tired of hearing that song. But you know what? It's almost like my theme song now at this point. But it was all worth it. In the end, it's all worth it. Because now you can make your physical decision, because there's not going to be any difference of a walk. I earned 34 points with if you choose a watch that has GPS and heart rate built into it. So we're talking about Charge 5, Versa 3, or Fitbit Sense. You choose one of those three, you know you can, in an 84, well, for you it's going to be different because you're a different size than me. But you're getting an idea. For somebody who weighs 249 pounds, or 249 pounds, I think, if I remember correctly. What did I say at the beginning of this? Well, whatever it is, forget it. I forget now. Yeah, you're getting an idea. And as long as you keep the details in your Fitbit app accurate, every time you lose weight, you change the app. Every time you gain weight, you change the app. As long as you make sure this information stays updated in the Fitbit app, the mathematics to calculate all of this stuff will be far more accurate, and the information going into the Weight Watchers app will all be just that much more accurate, enabling you to defeat the holidays. Now, let's say today I earned the 34 points, okay? It's Thanksgiving morning. I get 33 dailies, plus an additional 34. So we're talking about almost 70 points that I would approach Thanksgiving with. And this is exactly how I handled it last year. And I believe I earned more than this last year, because I was heavier and it was easier to earn points. The more weight I lose, the harder it is to earn points. When I first started this, I was earning almost 50 points a walk. And now here I am, almost 150 pounds down, and I'm only earning 34 now. So if this was Thanksgiving Day, I went for my walk, I come home with 34 extra points, and I would use all of those extra points for the day. And if I wanted to go crazy, because it builds up those fit points for the week. So if I weigh in on Saturday, Thanksgiving is the Thursday after that, I could start building up the fit points for the whole week if you want to go nuts. But usually I only use the fit points I create the day that I create them. So if I'm going to use fit points on a Thursday, I'm going to only use the ones I created on Thursday. I'm not going to, I mean, and don't get me wrong, if you want to use the other ones, I think the first year, this is going to be my third Thanksgiving approaching. The first year, I did it this way. Whatever points I earned on Thanksgiving, that's the points I used in addition to my dailies. Last year on Thanksgiving, I used whatever points I wanted to use, whether it was earned that day or the day before or the Monday, whatever it was. Because I was really in the mood for pumpkin pie and coconut custard pie. And I had a gain last year, well earned, but I didn't feel guilty for it. Because you know why? Here's why I didn't feel guilty. Because before I sat down for that meal, a cup and a half of stuffing was tracked in my tracker. The slice of pies, each pie that I wanted was tracked in that tracker. All of my fit points were used before I sat down. They were all used. And I just executed at that point. If I said I was going to have a cup and a half of stuffing, I ate a cup and a half of stuffing. If I only ate a cup, I took a half a cup off of my tracker. But I did not go in the reverse way. I did not add more. If I decided I was going to do a cup and a half, when I sat at the table, I did not go to 2 cups. Because that, to me, that just felt like a loss. So if you're planning on doing that, then I would say go higher and come down. Because it's going to feel better. It's going to feel better if you say you want 2 and you only ate 1. Look, it's a mind game. No matter how you're playing it, it's a mind game. So now, let's say it's not Thanksgiving and you have, I don't know, you want to go eat, it's Saturday night, you want to go out to eat. The idea that you can create the fit points on a Saturday and then go out to eat and have them, use them. Now, if you want to use all of them, go ahead and use all of them. But listen, watch yourself. You can't do this 7 days a week and expect to lose weight. I'm sorry. That's not the way it works. Sometimes you need to use common sense. There was a time where I was purposely eating fit points on the days that I walked. I was doing a crazy experiment where I wanted to use half the fit points I created on the day I created them every time. So not only did I eat all of my dailies, I ate half the fit points on the day I created them. So if I made 20, I ate 10 in addition to my dailies. This was an experiment I did way back. And I used them specifically because I wanted to get additional protein and high fat into my diet. So I was eating stuff like almonds and peanut butter. I was purposely going after items like this because of the fat content and the protein content. It was just an experiment I wanted to try. I got to a point where I was so sick and tired of eating almonds and peanut butter, I just stopped. I felt like I didn't need to eat the extra points anymore. But this is not for everybody. Use these points and use them wisely. Don't go out of your mind and then email the show and say you ruined my life. Use your brains. If you made 20 and you want to use 10 on a night out, go ahead and use the 10. I'm talking about in addition to the dailies. So if you get 30 points a day and you want to use 10 of the 20 that you made on that Saturday to go out to dinner, so it's a 40-point day. Track it, eat it, move on. Do you understand? These are the tools I'm giving you to succeed this holiday season. And if you have a weakness for Halloween candy and you need to eat a couple of those things, go out for a walk. And learn what it takes. How much effort does it take to earn that freaking fun-sized Snickers? Because that's what's going to be the end-all, be-all there. When you walked and you're sweating and you're tired and you look for all of your effort, there's that fun-sized Snickers. Now you're going to know what it's worth. Now you're going to know. That's what it's all about. You could take this advice and you could say he's full of shit and never listen to me again. Or you can dare to do it and approach the holiday season in a way you never thought possible. There's one thing I want you to grasp most from all of this. As we approach the holiday season, you can do whatever you really want to do here. You can say, oh, he's making such a big deal about this. I'm just going to enjoy myself. I'm going to throw the towel and I'm going to do whatever I want. And then on January 2nd, you look like the rest of the New Year's resolution people. And if you feel like doing that, by all means, go ahead and do it. Or you can do something different. For once in your life, you can change the way you do things. And maybe it's a little bit out of the box. Maybe it's crazy. Maybe nobody in their right mind would ever think to use 30 and 40 points on a single meal. On purpose. But you're not any normal person. You're someone who this time decided they were going to succeed at all costs. You're someone who this time recognizes that losing weight isn't just eating less and exercising more. There's something much more to this. It is all in the mind more than anything else. It is a mind game for the entirety of the journey. And you know what? Weight Watchers isn't just a way to lose weight. Weight Watchers is a way of life. So do it. Make a difference in this holiday season. Do something different that you never did before. Dare to be different. And if everybody thinks you're crazy, so what? Be crazy. And you know what? It takes the crazy people. All of the crazy people change the world. And everyone else just lives in the world that the crazy people create. And no one ever appreciates those people. But it doesn't matter because those people are the trailblazers. Those people get the job done. They do whatever's required to do whatever it is they wish to do. And that's what I'm asking you. That's the tools I'm giving you so that you can get it done once and for all. Win at all costs. Win this holiday season. Don't just exist. On January 2nd, go to the gym because it's Sunday and not because it's your New Year's resolution. That's what I want you to do. That's what I want for you more than anything else. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.